What's up guys, Christos here and welcome back for another video. So before we get started, I'm going to address the elephant in the room. If you haven't noticed already, I have had all of my hair shaved off.
Oh God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Not for fashion purposes. As you all know, we are in this lockdown at the moment, so I thought no better time to actually sort some problems that I've been having with my scalp and shave all my hair off and get my head moisturised and stuff like that. But I don't think it suits me. It's not for fashion purposes, but if you do think it suits me, let me know in the comments down below because I may keep it for a little bit longer. But let's get into the video today, guys. One thing that I really wanted to make a video on, and I've been meaning to make a video on this for quite a long while, but now is the perfect opportunity more than ever because everyone is locked away in their homes, and that is how to stay productive and some of my top tips for working from home. So why does someone like me have the right to talk about this? Well, actually in my day job, I've actually been working from home on and off for over 5 years, and as you know, if you have watched this YouTube channel, I run an online Amazon business as well, which is run completely from my home. So I've got lots of experience of working from home. I haven't been the best at it in the past, but I feel that over 5 or 6 years, I've started to really learn and get into the swing of things. So we're not going to waste any time now. If you're excited for this video, hit the like button down below and let's get into my top tips. Okay, so my first tip, and probably in my opinion, the most important thing that you should be doing, especially when you are working from home, is you need to have a dedicated space in your house which is completely set aside for your working environment. So almost setting up a mini office in your house or your apartment. One of the things that I used to have to do, not by choice when I first started working from home, was I had to work from a desk in my bedroom, and that really was a struggle simply because it felt like I was getting out of bed and I was straight into my office. So if possible, like I said, this is completely if possible, try and have your office in a completely different room as to the rooms that you're spending your time living in. So try to avoid the lounge and try to avoid the bedroom. And just following on from that, when you have got your desk set up, try and make it as minimal as possible. So as you can see, I've got my desk behind me here. I really try to keep my desk set up as minimal as possible, simply because I don't really feel too motivated when I'm just sat on a desk full of clutter. I guess there's no kind of real definition behind why it works, but for me, I just feel so much more motivated, inspired to work in a clean and just clear setup. So my second tip for working from home and trying to stay as productive as possible, and this one can be probably one of the toughest for most people to adapt to, and that is try your best to keep the same routine as you were if you were going into the office. So what do I mean by this? I literally mean waking up at the same time. I mean going through your daily routine as you usually would, eating breakfast at the same time, and then just going towards the work aspect of things. Try and start work at the same time, try and take your lunch breaks at the same time, and try and finish at the same time, because one of the main problems that people face when they are working from home is they don't think they are doing enough because they are at home, and they actually try and work more just to try and justify that. Try your best not to do that. Just stick to the same routine that you would do as you were going to an actual work day in the office. And the final point on that, and this can be probably the hardest thing to adapt to when working from home, is if you're waking up to work from home, try your best to get changed into the clothes that you would normally wear if you were just going into the office. Now, obviously, if you have to go in and you have to wear a suit or any kind of specialist equipment, I don't suggest or recommend doing that. That's probably a little bit too far-fetched. The kind of point what I'm really trying to make is don't just sit there in your boxer shorts or your pajamas or a dressing gown or something like that, because it just really does make you feel that you're not at work. Try and really replicate what you would do if you were just going into the office like any other day. So my third tip from working from home, and this is something I've actually only just started doing, and I've already seen an instant impact in productivity from doing this, and that is to start thinking about what you are doing on your lunch breaks. Now, what do I mean by this? So if you're at home, it can be very easy just to walk away from your desk and go and watch some TV, go for a lie down or something like that. I've definitely done that in the past. Try your best to actually go out and get some fresh air, go for a walk, try and do something a little bit productive productive on your lunch break that doesn't make you just slouch down on the couch. So I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I hope none of my past employers are watching this, but in my old job I had a spell where I was working from home quite a lot, and I actually got into this habit of just going into my lounge and watching a series on Netflix, one episode, and there was a couple of times where I'd watch that one episode and that episode would then turn into 2 episodes, and then I've just wasted an hour of my working day, and then you start to feel guilty and trying to play catch up. It just isn't a good thing to get into as a habit, going into your lounge, watching TV or doing something like that. Try your best to go out for a walk. That's something that I've been doing recently, and getting some fresh air. It's just so amazing the difference that it actually can make to your day, as to just going and being lazy and slouching around on the couch or watching TV. So my 4th tip for working from home, and I think you should be doing this regardless whether you are at home or in the office, and that is actually just taking the time throughout the day at regular intervals just to stand up from your desk and go for a little bit of a walk or a break. So there's 2 ways that I actually go about doing this. The first way, and probably the most popular way, which most people do this, is taking 5 minutes every single hour just to get up from your desk. So if you're in an office job like me, you probably find yourself sitting down all day, and it's not good for your posture, and you probably maybe even going 2 or 3 hours without actually standing up. So the key is to force yourself every single hour just for 5 minutes just to stand up from your desk, whether that's to go to the toilet, go and grab some water, or just stand up and make a phone call or something like that. Just make sure you are strictly doing that, just so you're not stuck in your chair throughout the day. And like I said, you should be doing this whether you're at home or in the office. It will really help just for your productivity throughout the day. So the second way that I ensure that I'm taking multiple progress breaks throughout the day, and this one actually does depend a lot on the type of job that you do. With my job, it's very much project based, which makes this a lot easier to do, and that is taking what I call progress breaks. So what do I mean by progress breaks? Basically, progress breaks is whenever you've hit a substantial task or you've got to a certain point in your work, make sure you take the time up then to go for a walk, stand up, go for a drink and stuff like that. Whether that be you've made X amount of calls if you're working at a call center, or you've completed a certain coding task, which is something that I work on a lot. Just make sure that when you hit those tasks and you've done something productive, that's when you should recognize and then go for that walk or take that drink or do whatever you need to do just to reset and just stay as productive as possible. So the 5th and final tip for staying productive when working from home, and this one actually isn't so much about staying productive, it's actually one of the most common kind of pain points from people when they are working from home, and that's staying connected to your colleagues. So what do I mean by this? Basically, when you're in the office, you're obviously sitting next to people, you can just reach out to people, have those small little chit chats and that conversation. But when you're working from home, you feel very much locked away and isolated. You feel like you've kind of lost connection to your colleagues or your employees and stuff like that. And there's 2 things that I've really felt has helped with my colleagues and my work to get around this. Number 1, what we actually do every single day is we have at 9:15 or 10 o'clock, we have a daily stand-up meeting. So basically what we do is we all jump in on a Skype call or a Zoom call, and there's plenty of other apps that you can use to do this, and all we do is basically let each other know what we were up to yesterday, what we are planning to do today, and whether we have any kind of pain points or things that are kind of blocking us throughout the day, and then like the manager will be able to go ahead and sort those out. But that's the first thing that we do, and that's a very much work based meeting. But the second thing that we've started doing recently due to this whole outbreak and this crisis is we've been having virtual tea breaks throughout the day. So at the moment we're just doing one at 12:15 where we all get together on a video call, maybe grab a drink and stuff like that, and we just spend 15 minutes just talking completely about things not related to work, just so we're staying in touch with your colleagues and stuff like that. And it's really helped us. We've only actually been doing it for about 4 or 5 days now, and it really has helped us just stay connected a little bit more to our teammates and just not feel so much isolated in your office at home and stuff like that. But that's going to do it for all the tips today. I hope one of the 5 you may be able to take through to next week or your next time working from home and implement them, and I hope it really does help you feel a little bit more productive. I guess the final thing to say is, obviously with the situation going on in the world, I hope everyone is staying safe, staying at home and following the government's guidelines. It feels good to be making a YouTube video again. Sorry it's been a couple of weeks. Obviously there's been some personal things that I've been dealing with due to the pandemic at the moment, but I hope everyone is staying safe and looking after themselves and their families. I'm going to finish the video there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Obviously like the video if you got some value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I shall talk to you guys soon. Cheers.